So I'm just going to I'm going to provide a big, quick background. Those that have already participated in member meetups, I do apologise in advance. I'll condense it a little bit, but for those that are with us for the first time, let's provide a little bit of background to why we're doing this initiative and the reasons behind the platform. And I'll do that as quickly as we can, because then what we'll do is we'll go through then the mechanics of how to set your booths up. So we've got Tessa, we've got Daniel, and we've got Tara will be presenting on various topics as we go. So let's just go back. It's almost a silly thing to say now that we're living in unprecedented times. I mean, the whole world we're living in is tipped upside down. There is a very real likelihood in the state of Victoria, given the latest directions and the latest lockdown, that there will be no physical caravan shows in Victoria in 2020. That's just a fact of life. The association is working very hard with government. In fact, I've got a meeting tomorrow with the Victorian government to continue to push our case to actually have caravan shows open. A bit hard to argue at the moment when we've got a 6-week lockdown. And then if anyone's read the reports today, the Premier's already talking about extending it. So that will push us through into August, September. The opportunity then and the window of opportunity to run caravan show is closing by the day. Having looked at that and had thought about that very early on when we had obviously a couple of consultations with the government, we believed that there was a room to run something like we're running now. The genesis really came from the Western Australian Association. But on the eve of the Western Australian Association, the government closed any opportunity for them to run their caravan show. They then put on what they called then a virtual caravan show. I spoke with Craig Kenyon, who I get on famously well with, and good on them. They had a go. There was a few show specials, and they called it a virtual show. What it did for us is we thought, well, this is a really interesting idea. I wonder how far this could be extended. So as we progressed further on, in April of this year, I took to the board what we've called in Victoria, It's Time to Travel campaign. Started with a We Are Open, a virtual caravan show, and a massive statewide promotion of tourism and travel later in the year. And having said that, that too might also be in jeopardy. The board adopted our recommendations, and basically then we started to look at the platforms. We actually found a few platforms that we thought were interactive, because a couple of things that we decided were non-negotiable right from the start. Number one, it had to offer an opportunity for our exhibitors and members of exhibitors to get genuine and real leads that could lead to sales. That's number one. Number two, we had to have a platform that clearly consumers can actually operate in and feel easy to do it all in the comfort of their own home. The third thing that we focused on is how do we get to new people, those people that we already know through the easing of lockdowns have been coming to our members, inquiring about product, who have never used product before. How can we get to them, and how can we get them on a platform that will engage them? So that was really our driving pillars, if you like, in putting this virtual show together. It's certainly an opportunity to provide something that is really, really different. And we hope that what you see today gives you great comfort that it is really different. And it is, probably because it is different, it's hard for some people to get their heads around. I know in the last week, the number of questions that we've got certainly fall into the basket of, I just can't get my head around it. And that's okay. That's why we decided that we would run a series of these meetups where we'd explain it to you in very, very, very clear language and talk to you about what support we can give to you. We also know there's lots of questions about, well, how in the hell do we know if anyone's going to turn up? Well, guess what? We're in the same boat. But what we do know is that as of the last count in the partnerships that we formed and agreements that we've now got in place, we will be accessing in excess of 2 million people. Now, that's a lot of people, and let's hope that at least one or two of them turn up. We're pretty confident. We also know that we're going to people who are already pre-qualified. They're either already users of our products, and that's across the board, so it's caravans and accessories, all sorts of things, or are thinking about it. We already know that. That's stuff that we've already done in our research. So we've already got people who are willing to provide opportunities to talk to you and look at your products. The other thing that really clearly is spooking everybody, and we're going to explain it very clearly today, we've made it so interactive that consumers can chat with you. Now, you do have an option about the chat, and if you don't want to chat, then don't chat. But if you do want to chat, it's a real opportunity and a number of forums which Daniel and Tess will take you through that is meaningful. It's actually someone that wants to talk to you about your product. It's a real opportunity. We also know there's lots of businesses who won't have that capacity, and that's okay. Our platform will capture all that data and give it to you anyway. So whether you talk to them during the show period or you talk to them after the show period, it won't matter. The collection of that data will be for you to follow up. So I suppose, Daniel, that's a bit of an overview. I hand to you and Tessa now to take us through the main body of the presentation. And please, if you have questions along the way, use the chat button. We will get to you. There's too many people on today. Just open it up to say, have you got any questions? We will go systematically through your questions and answer them as we go. So over to you, Tessa and Daniel. Thank you.
Over to you, Tess. Just unmute yourself.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So a lot of you have met me and a lot of you have emailed me, or I've emailed you. So I'm part of the event officer. So I'm just going to go through how to set up the booth. Once you go through it, you'll see just how easy it actually is. But I'm going to start from start and go all the way to the end. So we'll start off with the allocation email that you will get from us. So the first email you'll receive from us will look like this. So very much like at the shows, you'll get, a bit of details about the show and that you've been successfully allocated. The difference here is you're not going to get a site number. You're going to get a whole location. So this is where your stand is going to be located within the show. So we've put it into different areas like caravans, campers, accessories, tourism and all that. So that will be your location of where your actual stand will be. Then you've got your booth name, which will come in the exhibitor list, the price for the booth, and then down here we've got any additional items that you've chosen. So as you know, there's the webinars, which we'll go through a bit further on, the sponsorship opportunities. So if you did pick them and you're successful, you will get a bit of a yes, you do have one. There will be more details to come later on with that, along with price and all that for you. Probably one of the main things we'll need you to do to action from this email is to get a product list from you. So we'll go into detail about how, what we need from you and stuff, but we need a list of products to go up into your booth so that visitors can view videos, documents, and all that with your product list. So we'll go through that a bit further on with the request a quote / buy bit. So this email, it's just saying you've allocated, you've got your spot, and more detail to come shortly. You'll then receive an email very similar to this, which is a link to your setup booth. It's very simple. All you got to do is follow the little link here. And sorry, the link is not, I've just got to copy it. And you'll get taken to here. So this is the process where you start to actually create and build your stand. We're here to help at any stage if you have any questions, but you'll see that it's super easy. It's just literally following the steps like an application. So you just hit get start, and here's your little basic information. So here's your booth name. So I've already got this information in because we've already uploaded it. We've got the logo here. And we've got a little booth description right here. So that's your little description about your company and what you do and stuff. So that will be the name that comes up in the exhibitor list up here for you. And literally just check that everything's right, everything's looking good. and all good, then you just hit save and continue. So save and continue are very important. If you don't do that, it will not save. So just hit that. So this is the next part here. So this is where we start looking at your booth design and layout. So they've got a little 2-minute how to do that. So if you have any questions, you can watch that. Gives you a little bit of an idea, but we're going to go through that anyhow. So first things first, you guys have already chosen your layout, but you can change that if something else comes up later. So it's super easy. All you got to do is hit the arrows until you get to the one that you want. And you go, yep, that's the best one for my brand. So for example, I might go this one. I want this one. So you just use layout and it will load up here for you. So if you see up here, you've got the sizes of the banners. So if you're wanting to get artwork created and stuff, the sizes are there for you, which will be super easy. So all you got to do is press on the panel that you want to upload an image onto. So you just press it and you go, I just want to upload a banner, and it'll go into your documents. And all you got to do is just find the photo that you want to use. So say I want to use this one. Go open, it will load up. Now, see here this where the grey bit around the edges, that's not seeable in the banner. So you can easily zoom in or out to fit the image to how you want. So I'm going, yep, that's perfect. That's what I want. You go continue. So this part is where you can add a link to this photo. We recommend the link to be connected with the photo so people know where they're going. So for example, I might choose Go Make Some Memories homepage for this one. And you can also not have a link if you don't want to. It just means that when they click on that photo, nothing's going to happen. But if they do click on that photo, they will go to that link, if it's a video or a website or whatever. So you just go hit save, and there it is, right there for you. And you just do it for all of them. And as I said, it's super easy. Takes no time at all. And you can, as I said, you can change these at any time. If you look at it and go, do you know what, that's not for me, that's fine. Just go back, you can go back in and upload it at any stage. Just use the same link that was in the email for you. And I'll just make it all look pretty so that when we go into the hall, you can all see what the stand will look like. I'm not going to add a link there. And one more. Now, the thing that you need to know is that with these panels, these photos, one must be your logo. We recommend this so that people know who you are when they're looking at the stand. But another photo needs to be your show special, which we'll go into a bit more detail later. But it needs to be linked to your show special, whether that is the image of the special or up to 50% discount, whatever it is to represent your show special. So I'm just going to do that and go save. Now, as you can see, the black here, these can be changed to your colors. So the back panels, you can just click here, the black little bit. Now you can move the color around to whatever you want. Or if you've got your color code, you can put that there for just here for you, and that will bring that up. So if I go just here, and all you can do is go out, and there it is, the blue's there. And we'll just change this one. So you just grab the little circle, and you can see it changing as you move it up. So you just go, okay. And then that's it. That's your booth layout done. Super easy. So you just got to know what you kind of want to put in those panels. As I said, you can change them at any time, and the sizes are in there when they're blank. So if you want to get graphics made just give them to your graphic designer and they can make them for you. Go save. So here is where we start to add in links and stuff to your social medias and all that. So we'll start to add in things like, this is where visitors can click on it and they'll get directed to like either your website or social media. We're going to have a tab there with contacts for dealers or retails, which will be a little bit of a pop-up box. We're also looking to get, you know, links to the request to buy will be here, finance. We're also going to have a show special, so it's super easy to do this, and we will tell you what links and tabs need to go here. So for example, I'm going to put in my show special. So that name will come up, and all you got to do is get a link, and you know, got to link it back to where your show specials are in your website, for example. Or we've got here finance. So if you're connected with a finance team, we can connect them with you in your stand, which we'll go into more detail a bit later on. And you just go here. And then that's, if you want to add more, you just add the plus here, and you can add the title there. So we will tell you what titles you can put in, because we want it all to look similar, so consumers don't get confused and it all looks pretty mainstream. So we will give guidance in that, but it's super easy to do, and yeah, you just save and continue. And now we're on to the documents part. So in this part, this is where you're going to upload brochures. We're going to rename it to brochures. At the moment, it's documents, but we will be renaming that. So this is a great place for you guys to put in any brochures or information, PDFs, all that you want to share with consumers as they come and visit your booth. And these documents can be saved into their swag bag, show bag. Sorry. So they will save it into their show bag and email it to them at the end of the show so that they can have a look at it later on. So if you don't have anything, you can just press no, I don't. But if you do, we recommend having them. So all you do is go yes, and then you've just got to, as you said, just download, very simple. And yeah, it's all loaded. It will automatically save the title of the document there, but as you can see, this looks a bit clunky, so I'm going to change it to virtual show prospectus. That's it. And then again with video, so if you have a video, say, of a showcasing your product, 3D tour, virtual tour, all that, add that in also so people can see that at your booth. So you just find the link, and I've saved one a little bit earlier, so just from YouTube or from your website, and then just put in here what it is. So we are, and again, you can add another video down here. But as I said, it's super easy. You're not limited to how many you put in, and it's a great way to get consumers to see your product and get the information before they chat to you. Daniel, do you want to add anything there?
No, I think, Tess, if you go through probably the next two bits, and then I might take over, and I know there's probably if you show, you preload it, and then I might show some examples of how it looks, and because I know there's a lot of new exhibitors and probably thinking how it's going to work. So you do the next two steps, and then I'll probably take over.
Fabulous. All right, so the next step is for your chat and your users. So you can add other colleagues into as a user. All you got to do is go add user here. So what we recommend is that you put in for the first name, the company name, so that when people are talking to you, you know that you're a representation of that company. So I'm going to go Caravan, Caravan Industry Victoria, and then my name. And then you create an email and put their email in and a password in for them. So I'm just going to do something very simple. And then this is the part where available chats. So this will show up in your booth when you guys are available to chat with the consumers. So this will be super handy because it will come up as a link to show when you're available. And these times will be when you're kind of, I guess, open more so. Because, yeah, the consumers can visit your stand at any time, but they can't chat with you at any time. So you can control that here. So I say I want to be on chat at 9 till, let's say, 12. But I'm not going to be just on chat then. I'm going to have about an hour break, and then I'm going to go back on until 4. And you just go save. And there I am. So that's my login details. And again, you can edit the chat time at any stage. So if that changes because things happen, or you go, oh, look, I've had a really good day, I want to stay on longer, you can change that at any stage. And you can add in as many users as you want also. Then you go continue. And this is the final bit. So it just goes, this is just an overall of what you've added, how it's looking and all that. So you've got all your user logins, your booth layout here, your descriptions, your links here, and also your documents and videos here. And then all you have to do is go submit booth. And then that's it. You'll receive an email to say that it's submitted and it's ready to go. But if anything changes, if you want to add anything, you can go back, follow that link, and you can go back to it. And none of this will change. You just go back, change what you want, add what you want, and then just save it as you go along. So that's pretty much the booth setup. It's super easy. Just follow the steps, and we're here to help. And I think that's it.
Do you have the booth there, the lobby there, Tess?
Just refresh it.
Everyone, how it works. You might.
So this is the hall here. And these booths are in no order. They come up randomly. The only order will be the exhibitor list here, which will be in alphabetical order. So they just scroll along till they find the one that you've just made. So this is it here. This is the one I just created. So I'm going to hit on it. And as you can see, I've got my little videos here. Oh no, sorry, that's an old one I made. It does take a little while to upload, but I'll use that one as an example, I think. So this is one I made a little while ago. So you've got your videos here, and they just hit view, and it comes up as a little pop-up as the link.
This is David, General Manager.
And then just get rid of that. Then your documents are here, and all they've got to do is they can view it, and it'll come up as a little pop-up as a PDF, or they can, and then they can add it into their swag bag, which will be changed to show bag. So at the end of the show, they can email that directly to their email to have a look at later on. And then we've got all your links down here. So we'll go through what the chats and stuff are, but you've got the chat time. So that tells them what times you're available and when you're on to have a chat. So they might go, okay, they're available, not right now, but they'll be back in at 2. Down. YouTube, so if they click that, they'll go to your YouTube channel that I linked earlier for them to view at their own wants. Then they've got Facebook, so I've linked it to our Facebook page for them to like and view, and Instagram, and then the actual chat facility. So this is where you guys will be in chatting with them, which Daniel will go into a bit more detail, but it'll just come up as a little side note, and this is kind of what it looks like.
I think it's really important to also just say, Tessa, at this point, that once you got your booths up, you can change it. There's no problem about that. You've already reinforced that, Tessa. So you get it up and you go, oh, I want to change that. I want no problems whatsoever. Complete flexibility. The other key to remember is what you put up on the site for the consumer is also backed up by then your website or other places where you're going to take the consumer. So there might be a question about how much product can I put up. I can tell you put a lot of product up, but if you want to take it to your website, then you make sure the links are there and they just go straight to your website. So they're on your website. They're in their time looking at your products and anything else you want to promote for them. I think that's really important at this point to point that out. Okay, sorry, Tess.
No, all good. There will be another link which we will upload for you, which will be for the RV exhibitors, so caravan, campers, motorhomes, will be a request to buy, quote, and it will have a list of all the products that you've sent us, the product list that I mentioned earlier, for that, and links with their video, documents, and all that for exhibitors to kind of do like a little bit of a browse of what you have offered for them on this facility before they go to your website or request a quote, which Daniel will go into a bit more detail. For the accessories and tourism and all that, that will be a request to buy, and that link will take you directly to your website to buy that product. So Daniel, I know, will be going into a bit more detail on that.
Yep. All right, Tess, do you want to stop unsharing your screen and I'll share mine. So guys, I know there's a lot of questions and queries that are sort of going along, so I'll try to answer a few of them as we go, and I'll try to help you a little bit. And I thought we might go a little bit back because I know there's a lot of people here that are new. So there's a lot of people also that are here, so I will go through it a little bit quickly. But in essence, that link that Tess just used, I've just copied it because I can access the back end. So I've got it, and you can see here, I can go back into what Tess was setting up with that booth. And you can go in and go, oh, here's the videos, I want to add in some more. I can do that too. And the beauty with the links is, and we've had a lot of questions and queries about this, guys, is, oh, you know, I have to go out and do virtual tours. Oh, now I have to go and do this. You actually don't.
No.
You've actually used what you've got. Now, if you don't put it up there, that's fine. So, you know, you might have done some videos on Facebook, you might have some videos on your website currently, you might have some videos that you've done with What's Out Down Under, the guys from CD Media, or anyone like that. You might have some videos that you've got in the past. All you do is simply add the link. Now, the beauty of this is you don't have to upload anything. All you got to do is a direct link to your the links that you've already got. So it's very flexible with that, and that's what makes this platform so easy to do. So what I'm going to do, and as I talked about, I'm going to show you a couple of things to go to come back to it. Now I'm just going to show you when people log into the show, this is the outside that they will see. Now this is a video, so bear with me as you see what happens, but you're going to have people walking around and they enter into a show. Then they go into what is a virtual lobby. Okay, and I'm going to show you a couple of different examples. Now, this is a test, but this is a virtual lobby. Then they come in here and you can see people are around. But what's going to happen is Rob's going to pop up and Rob's going to talk about the show and what people can do. But there's an auditorium, exhibitor halls, networking lounge, and an information booth. So I'm going to show you guys quickly how it all links in together and how it's going to work for you. Okay, so this is a demo site that we've got. So say, for example, the information booth will be an area where people have got questions or queries, they find out what they're doing. You click, you've got a ribbon up the top to come back to the lobby. You've got the auditorium, which I'm going to come back to, because what I want to do is focus on the exhibitor halls. Okay, so as what Tess was showing you, and yes, this is a different site, but you can see, you can scroll through here. So these are all booths that are set up. Now, obviously ours at the moment, this is our exhibitor hall. Now we're going to have 5 exhibitor hall guys. What's important about this is we're going to have a camper trailer hall, we're going to have a caravan hall, we're going to have a motorhome hall, we're going to have parts and accessories, and then we're also going to have tourism and industry related. Now this is growing bigger by the day and gaining a lot of interest. So there's going to be a lot of stuff in this show. Our marketing, which Tara will talk about, our marketing is going to be around a lot of different avenues. People have been locked up in isolation, don't know where to go, all of a sudden want to go out to caravan and camping and they don't know where to go. You go to this show to find out all your information. So you'll have the whole breadth of the industry here, all in this one location, okay? So that's your booth. So here's a couple of example guys. So this test booth, we've got Dell, the computer company. It clicks through to websites or it clicks through to banners. You can click it through to wherever you like. And you can see down here, you've got company profile videos, as Tess talked about. Up pops a link that goes to a YouTube channel. Your documents, you can click here and up pops a brochure. So this is all the stuff that you guys have already got. All you need to do, as Tess showed you, is you add in your links. So in your documents and videos, you add in those links and that brings you into this location, okay? So what it does, as Tess talked about, people add it to their show bag, and then what will happen is it sends them an email. You can see it here, it pops up, and they send themselves an email. Now what that does, it gains tracking for you guys and says, oh, you know, Rob's jumped on, he's now looking at this brochure, he's downloaded it, and it gives you a lead to start to talk to them and engage with them about sale. Okay, so down here in this blue section here, we're going to have the company profile, videos, documents, which will be renamed brochures. We're going to have 3D virtual tours as well that you can also put in there. And then there will be a tab for products as well. So where you can list all your products that Tess was also talking about. So as I do that, I'm going to shift across to another website. So bear with me, right? So this is a boat show, okay? So you can see here, they've got different images and it pops up videos about the boats that they're selling, okay? So if I go back here, you can see all of them here. So alphabetical order, once again, you click here. So as Tess talked about, we are going to have a direct function that allows people to buy your products. Now what it's going to do is you list your product here. You can have a video link about that product. If you have it, as you can see, as I scroll down, some of them don't have it, that's fine. You can have videos and photos. If you've got them, that's fine. You've got photos here, which can link through. Now, you don't have to put them up. You can put them up if you choose. So you click that. Then what happens here, this request a quote. So in the caravan, motorhome, and camper trailer space, you click the request a quote. It'll send them a direct email to the company representative that you choose. And what it will do is say, Rob's now interested in this product. He wants to buy it. And then you can get on the phone and start to talk to this person directly. So it gets you their contact details. The leads are generated by the simply click of a button. The other bit is obviously with parts and accessories and the tourism and industry related, you guys will have online stores or booking places already. What that link will do, that will send them straight to your online stores and your areas where you would buy from. Now, if you don't have them, that's also fine. What it will do, it will send you an email to generate that lead. All right. So I know there's been a lot of questions and queries on how's that request a quote, how they're going to buy my products. That's how they're going to do it. So we're going to have, you know, as Rob talked about, Tara will talk about in a minute about our comms and marketing. We're going to be targeting 2 million people directly from our databases that we've engaged with. Then you plus on top all the generalized marketing that we're going to be doing, and Tara's going to talk about that, but it's going to be smashed. So we're going to have people on here all the time that are going to be requesting quotes, looking at your videos, looking at your pictures, that you will get that detail about. And I'm going to show you that very shortly. So that probably shows you a little bit how that's going to work. So if I want to talk to you guys about the chat function as well. So people are in their booth and they click the chat, right? So that pops up a window. I've already got it here ready to go. It pops up this window, right? And they've got direct messages who they can talk to. They've got chat rooms and they've got the visitor of the booth. On the right-hand side will up pop the salespeople on at that time, okay? So what happens, guys, and I've got this here preloaded, which is a brochure from the company that we're getting the software from. You can see here the chat rooms, available chat rooms, and you've got a history here, but you've got direct chatting people who you've got. These people can be anywhere, guys. They can be anywhere at any moment in time. I know there's been a lot of concern, a lot of query about how we're going to manage it. Now, if you don't want anyone, as Tesh showed you before with your booth setup and your sales reps, you simply don't have anyone there. And what it will do will send you an email when someone's interested. Okay, so you set the times, up top pops the chat. This one's probably better. Person clicks on who they want to talk to, and all it does, and I could be, you know, like with my pot plant at home at the moment, and up will pop, and I did this before to show you what it will do. On your screen, what the salesperson needs to be done is all they need to do is log on, and they need to just be logged into the page, and up will pop a window like this that says, I want to answer a call or I've got a message from this person. And then you talk to them directly. There's a type chat, which is this one, where you can type back to them privately. There's also a video chat, so they can talk to you. They can be in their living room, they can be in the bathroom, they can be in the kitchen, anywhere, and they can call you directly. So that's how the customers will directly talk to you through this chat platform. As I said, you guys can set it up the time you want, if you want it open, if you don't want it open, but that gives you the availability, as Tess said, through that step 5 about your sales reps, and that's who they talk to. And you can set it up as dealers. If you're a manufacturer or retailers, you can set them up with different people around the country. You know, at the moment, people sit at dealerships and retailers, and they sit by the phone, or they're sitting on computers following leads. They're doing the same thing now. All they've got to do is have the window open. Could be on your phone, could be at home like you are now. You have this open, they're in here, and up will pop it, telling people they're talking to you now. It's pretty simple. They showed us how to do it last week, and we were blown away how simple it is. And we didn't realize that the video chat was there as well. It's really, really awesome, guys. And the power of this technology is fantastic, and we think it's going to really benefit you guys in talking directly to the customers as well. So you can engage with the customer on your booth as well. They'll pop up in that window and says who's online. So you've got it here, and you've got it also here, and you can talk directly to them when they're there too. So you can go, oh, g'day, it's you know, I'll use Tammy here from Caravan. It's Tammy here from Caravan. Say that you're online. Can I help you with anything? And then you just type that in the chat. It's pretty cool. It's really, really powerful, guys. So that's the chat function. So that gives you an overview, I guess, around how the documents and all that will come together. As I said before, I want to show you, if I go back to this demo site that we had, the auditorium, another main function that we're going to have, which is going to be where our webinars, seminars, product launches, you name it, are going to be. So we've got peak and off-peak times. You click the screen, or the customer will click the screen, and up will be videos. So there'll be videos, and they'll be pre-recorded, and then you can talk to them on the day when it's playing. As you can see here, it'll pop up a window. There's a big chat here that's been going on. This guy's presented, and there's a heap of questions and queries that have been talked to him through the event, and he can answer them back. So we're using this area, guys, as a major promotional function and tool, where what we're going to do is we're going to talk about product launches. You know, Tammy's got a new function of her business that she wants to launch. She can promote it here. We've got Leisure Tech and Truma releasing a brand new product. They're going to do a product launch in here. You might have a 2020 model, or you're releasing something for the new section. You know, you might have anything that you want to talk about, or you just want to talk about the features and benefits of your products as well. So there's major opportunities for you guys in that auditorium feature as well, guys. So that probably gives you a number of functions to go through, and how we think it's pretty easy. I'm just sort of looking at my notes and the questions and queries that I might have had. One of the things, probably just to clarify with your products, you can have all these listed, as you can see here. And once again, as Tess showed you, they're all just links, guys. So most of you guys will have it on your website. Now, if you don't have them, that's fine. That's up to you guys. You don't have to go out and create stuff if you don't want to. It's already what you have and what you have there. So I know.
I think the other, Daniel, the other thing just to consider is in this circumstance, you can list them on the platform, but if you've already got them on your website, you may not want to do it twice. It just depends on how you want to do it, and just ask one of the team, and they'll explain and talk you through what your options are.
So Tara, I just unmuted you because you did ask.
Oh no, that's all right. I was just making sure that I could be unmuted. But also too, just so that everyone knows too, Daniel, can you just go back to that screen? Just in regards to if you don't have a brochure or a flyer or a video, It's not going to penalise you in any way that the functionality works in the website. You'll just simply have a little dash that you don't have a video in that place, just so that you know that it's not going to penalise your positioning on the website or anything like that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So with that said, Tara, we started to talk about the auditorium feature, which if I bring up this, did you want to talk about how you're going to market it and how we're going to promote it?
Absolutely. So the webinars themselves will be advertised on the main landing page through a tab, which will then have the agenda for when every webinar will be on. Now, each webinar will have a specific time, but then in gaps that we may have, we'll then fill the rest in with that so that people can still go to playbacks, can watch it whenever they want, and it will be in line with our peak periods and our off-peak periods. Now, for any, I don't know if we mentioned it before, I missed a little bit there when my internet dropped out. Our peak period is from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m, and then our off-peak times are outside of those hours. Now, every webinar that comes up will have a little pop-up box. Now, Daniel, I don't know if you've got a screenshot of that.
Of what, sorry?
The pop-up box for every webinar that comes in, so that they get promoted.
No, we didn't have that feature set up. So, but what we can show you guys is there's a notification center that will pop up wherever anyone is in the bottom right-hand corner from memory, Tara, I think where it was.
Similar to when you're on Facebook and the little chat box pops up, or when you go on a website and a little box pops up and says, hey, subscribe. That will pop up for every webinar that we have scheduled, so that way our consumers don't miss it when they're on the website. And they also can save the webinar so that they know when it's on as well. We do have some plans for a virtual show guide as well, and the agenda and the webinars will be listed in that as well. So there'll be that, plus we'll be sharing it across Facebook and Instagram through stories, posts and ads, depending on which sort of webinar it is, so that way we're making sure we get it out there to the consumers as well, but also getting them to the platform so that they register and get involved.
Yeah, so while you talk about that, Tara, and also the data capture as well, what we've got, guys, is everyone has to register to enter the show. So they click, click the login button, but you click to register. So what it does is everyone must register to enter the event. So what that does is it captures their data, obviously, so that you can talk to them, but that's how you also get your data capture and your leads as well. So what it will do at the end of the show, you get a ROI report, and you also get a data report, which is an Excel spreadsheet, which will give you who's gone on your booth, when, how, what they looked at, all that sort of stuff, so that then you can follow them up to talk to them as well. That's on top of obviously what you get during the show with emails and the chat function. I know there was a question here around, if we're too busy. Well, we all hope that's going to be the case. That's what we're planning. But if that's the case, it just shows that you're busy. And what it will do is they leave a note for you to contact them to come back. But also, obviously, the benefit with a chat and how it works is it's no different to like a messenger or the chat that we're using on this. It just pre-populates, and then you can come back to them as you please. If the chat is unavailable, it will then send you an email that you can come back to and contact those customers as well. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty powerful what it can do. So, if you're unavailable, that's perfectly fine. You can come back to it at a later point as well. So back to you, Tara.
Yeah. And so a big part of that too is that, we're going to be certainly marketing it and communicating to the consumer that it is such a two-way platform. And this is probably something that's different to other things that are in the market at the moment as well. This is really to have conversations with consumers, get them engaged, get them involved, so that they're interacting with us just like they would at a normal show, which is a really big part of why we've got the webinars in there as well. But a big part of it is you guys also sharing that you're online, that you're available, that you're promoting a webinar, just like you would for a normal show, to get everyone involved and get the message out there as well. Daniel, do we want to go into the hall and partnership opportunities?
You can. So if I bring up maybe the lobby, this one?
Yeah, that would be great. So we've had a few questions in regards to the banners. Now, if you look on the right-hand side of your screen where it says VMware Hands-On Lab, that counts as a banner, as does the little A-frame to the left of the screen. So that's better. So they're available for purchase, and we can have multiples of them and we can place them around the venue. And also in the lounge and potentially in the auditorium as well. And then we do have some screen backgrounds. That was perfect timing there, Daniel.
all over it, Tara.
That was so good. Where we can have those, and they will actually link through to your booth as well, so that way you've got a bit of extra exposure for consumers that are coming straight into the lobby straight up. So they were in the prospectus. Now I think that was $1,500 off the top of my head. So that way, you know, it's a little bit extra if you didn't want to go for an exhibitor hall or the auditorium, for example. So we are working with a few people at the moment to finish the naming rights on a couple of the halls and the auditorium. And so that will hopefully then fill the hall up nicely, and we'll be promoting all the partners as well, just making sure that we share little snippets of the site and how it looks so consumers get a feel for it before they even enter. What else do we have? Do we want to talk about, Daniel, Passport to Freedom on our list as well?
Yes, we probably do, guys. So obviously what we normally do at our normal shows, we have what's called the Passport to Freedom competition, which is designed to push people around our Caravan show. We are going to do the same thing with this virtual show. So once again, in this demo site, what they call it is the prize center and the leaderboard. We can rename this, guys, so don't stress too much about it. But what will up pop is a leaderboard function here. And what it's designed to do is push people through the show. So if they go and speak to a person at a booth, if they go and download a brochure, they're going to be worth more points. And then on the left-hand side here, you'll see a population of points. So as an example, you know, Rob Lucas might be sitting on 100,000 points and Tara might be on 99,000 points and trying to catch her. So what we'll do as a part of our marketing, we'll obviously advertise that, but we'll do maybe like a daily or half daily snippet of who's leading the leaderboard, so to speak, to generate that buzz. But what it's designed to do is push people through. And then you can see here is obviously prizes that have been donated for this event that then get actual extra advertising, and then people can win those prizes like what we do at the end of the show. So you can click those and it goes through their websites to buy as well. So that's what the Passport to Freedom competition will do. This has got a lot of buzz at the moment in our applications. We've got a heap of them. So this is obviously a competition that will help generate people not only to the site, but also to your booths. And obviously, if you donate prizes, we're going to bump up your points as well to obviously push people to your booth. So it's obviously designed to engage people, have a bit of fun, and push them around the site as well. So it's an additional feature there as well. Tara, did you want to talk about anything else about the marketing of that promotion?
No, I think that's pretty good for now. Just to give everyone a bit of an idea, we've sent off everything for the media buy, so we're getting all of that back, and then we're going to start finalising a bit with our industry partners to lock everything down this week, so that then we can start marketing next week properly anyway. So we'll let a bit of a sneak peek out in the next few days, and we'll communicate that to everyone.
So Tara, you might want to talk to everyone about the mix of the channels we're using to because it's very different to what our historic show marketing is.
Yeah, for sure. So it is still a little bit of a work in progress just until I lock everything in by Friday, but we're going to be doing heavily social media and digital, just purely because the show itself is digital. In the past, we tend to, for our shows, we tend to use TV, radio, digital, and then we do things like train advertising and posters and things just to make sure that we're keeping it fresh and relevant. So we're going to be doing some SEM, so search engine marketing, to go alongside with the website itself, our SEO for the platform, and making sure that it then ties in with our, for example, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We'll be doing some digital banners, and then we're going to be doing some heavily related marketing with our industry medias. So that will all be defined and sorted this week. But we'll be going out through our mailing list, which, as Rob mentioned before, we're going to be reaching a phenomenal amount of people, and we've got some great support from the industry media guys as well. So that's where it's all sitting at the minute, and we'll make sure that we communicate that and how you guys can get involved even more as of next week.
So there we go. So in answer to your question, Michelle and Simon from Safety Dave, thanks for your question, guys. Really appreciate it. What we've done is, as a part of the application form, to streamline it a little bit, we've put all the sponsorship opportunities. We've put also the Passport to Freedom as well in there, and what you can do. So it makes it simpler as you fill in the application process, guys. But obviously, if you're interested about any of those things, don't hesitate to shoot the team an email. So you've obviously got Tess, who presented before, which is as she waves her hand. Thanks, Tess. The events at civic.com.au. We've also got Darian and Duane, who will be helping with each of the exhibitor halls and booths and the setup as well. So what we will do, guys, is we're going to set up one-on-one meetings with all the exhibitors to help set up their booth. If you've got any questions or queries as we go through as well. So going to be a lot more to help you with and help you set them up. In essence, the setup process with us, we'll do it for free. With you guys, it's a part of the package. So, you know, not only is the site fee, we think, extremely affordable with everything going on, it's will also help you set it up. You know, that's why we ask for links in your application process so that we can start to pre-populate it for you guys as well. So that's really, we're here to help you. Really, is probably the best way.
Daniel, you might just want to talk about the other support that members and exhibitors can call upon.
Yeah, so as also in the application process, if you guys think, oh, this is pretty cool, but I need some help with some updates of videos and photos, maybe websites, you know, there's a few things in the chats about, you know, maybe you want to create some virtual tours. Now, as I said, you don't have to have them, but if you're now looking at that stuff, particularly with everything going on, we've got some great friends and partners that are members also as well. So the guys at What's Up Down Under and the team at CD Media are offering some great options and advice to you guys. So by simply...
We'll share that out in the next week or two with everyone who has ticked that they would like some assistance.
So as a part of the application process, you tick the box and we will get your details and pass them on to them. And then we'll also give you their details and their price card that they're offering, which are very fantastic rates, guys. They've really come to support you guys and support us in the industry as a part of this process as well. So there we go.